All right, so we should be live, and I have to go on Facebook and change this shit like always. Um,
We don't have a theme song though. We need to get Brian to get us a theme song.
yeah, he could probably get us one. I don't know. It should be. It's not.
I'm showing we're live.
Okay.
I'm
So
watching us on my phone.
Oh,
All
are we
right.
awesome?
I mean, I'm pretty cool.
all right. So what I have to do is
That's because
go
you don't have a
in.
headband on. I do. This is my this is my Baker tribute. This is my Baker tribute.
There's something I had to do, and I can't remember how to do it to make it public, so that people can comment and shit.
Yeah, because
Uh,
it's all
oh,
the
there we
public
go.
always has great comments.
Edit privacy. There we go. Okay, we should be able to see comments now if they come in. So this is a new podcast, I guess. Between two Browns, it was W. Scott's idea.
That's right.
Um, I did
Every
not.
now and then I'll have a good one.
I really wanted to do it whenever you first told me about it, and then we traded for Deshaun Watson, and then I really did not want to do it. And
Yeah.
then,
Yeah.
and then you kind of talked me into it because you were like, "Well, let's talk about that." So
I
I'm
think
not
it's
going to. I guess I do need to talk about it. I don't know.
I
So-
think it's this will be a great forum for us to get our feelings out about it, especially right now because I think it's a good time. We're in that whole what is the NFL going to do? What is this judge going to say? And I had hesitations as well, but I think we should talk about it, and then we'll go forward. I don't
Yeah.
think we dwell on it ever. Depending on what happens, I think it's going to be a
Yeah.
very interesting year, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, I
It's going
might
to be an
dwell
interesting
on
few years, to say the least.
Yeah. Yeah. I might
Because
dwell on it a
hypothetically,
little
let's
bit.
say the Browns win the Super Bowl in 2 or 3 years. Are we going to feel good about it?
In 2 to 3 years, maybe. Right now, right this year, no.
That
Um,
it would feel kind of dirty, wouldn't it?
a little. I don't know.
How
My
did you
thing
feel?
is
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
no. My big thing about it is that, like, I don't know. I think I can still root for the team and think my quarterback's a piece of shit. Like I think he's a shitty person. But like I love this team too much. I've rooted for him my entire life. Like Myles Garrett's my favorite player. Why am I going to stop rooting for Myles Garrett because the front office made a decision I don't agree with? I mean, I don't know. It just sucks that I have to be a Browns fan. I have to feel like some shame with that. Like it's
Like you don't want to tell people.
yeah, dude, and that's what we're doing right now. So
No, I agree
No.
100%. I mean,
It's-
it's weird when I'm on the road and I'm talking to people and they're asking me like where I'm from and everything, and we talk sports, and I'm like, yes, I am a Browns fan. And before, when you would say that, you would have to defend yourself because you're defending just a shitty team.
Yeah.
That was hard enough to do, but at least you can kind of make jokes about that. This, it's, yeah, I'm part of the Cleveland Brown faithful, but now I got to defend this guy every time I say something, because that's what the Steelers fans found themselves in.
Yeah. I'll never defend Deshaun Watson like as a person. Like I mean, honestly, like there's no like denying that he didn't even try to deny the things that he did. It's just the fact that, like, can you be a fan of a football team and not like the quarterback? And I think you can. It's to me, it's like I said, like Myles Garrett's my favorite player. I'm not going to abandon Myles Garrett because just because the Browns front office made a decision I don't agree with. Denzel Ward, I love Denzel Ward. I love Nick Chubb. Like I love this team. It just sucks. Like I think we all thought that like Baker Mayfield would be our quarterback right now, and we'd be a Super Bowl contender if you asked us a year ago. You know, I mean, it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, I would have to say when it first started and there was, news broke that the Browns were going down to talk to Deshaun, they were going to try to get him, and I was like, man, why? Why would you do that? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, look, 2 grand juries said there was nothing there that was criminal, right?
Yeah.
Being a creep isn't against the law. It really
Right.
isn't. But why would you want to invite that kind of scrutiny and media attention and, having to defend it every press conference? Hey, did Deshaun pull his dick out of practice today? Well, not today, but, it's not over yet. So who knows? But why do you want to do that all the time? It's constant, and it just drags on and on and on. And, as a person, like I said, there's no law against being a creep. And, he likes to have, he likes to bang masseuses. What do you do? I mean, we all got our things.
Well, I'm not gonna say that. No, I think what the other thing I think is weird to me, and I don't blame anyone who decided that they can't root for the team. It's a personal decision. Like it's I get it, but at the same time, I think you have Deshaun Watson for what he did. If you actually read all of the complaints and reports and everything, basically what he did was an extreme version of workplace sexual harassment. That's basically what it boils down to. And you rooted for the team when you knew we had a legendary player that was involved with the team that beat his wife whenever he was playing. You rooted for the team whenever they had Kareem Hunt. I just don't understand you. So you think like this version of sexual harassment is worse than abuse, based physical abuse. Like I don't know. I didn't come to that same conclusion, but if that's what people think, then I get it. Like, or maybe it's just like the last straw for some people. I don't know.
Really, the NFL did not present anything that showed any type of violence or coercion or anything like that. I mean, basically, he jockeyed his penis next to people, right? And I guess that's an extreme.
No, he
form.
did. He did more than that. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, he kind of.
I don't want to get into all of that.
I mean, he kind of got himself off.
Yeah, I mean, if that's all he did, then lock me up.
No. No,
I do that every weekend at the Funny Stop.
But I mean, look at this. There's still people that, Louis C.K. did some things. And Aziz Ansari did some, one thing, and you see where he is.
The Aziz thing was bullshit. But
right, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter,
Yeah, but this is 53 things.
66.
They're 66 in 2 years.
And when you, I don't know if you guys just saw, but the Texans just settled 30.
Yeah,
with 30 of the accusers.
Yeah, I'll never defend Deshaun because I read some of the detailed things like the Sports Illustrated article and shit, and I'm never gonna think he's a good person. But I will say that I think the Houston Texans enabled him, and I think maybe normalized it a little bit to where that like they signed NDA agreements for him and shit. Like I think they should be held responsible. I mean, maybe not as much as him, but for a lot of it, I mean, it probably wouldn't have went on as long if they didn't cover it up. I mean, that's.
Well, yeah, and the release from the Texans is hilarious. They're like, we didn't know this was going on.
They signed it. They had girls sign NDA.
You gave them the NDA, and you contracted for the rooms. So
the NFL ownership like gets away with murder.
Right.
I mean, nothing ever happened to Robert Kraft for what he did, and I'm not equating the two things. It's not the same.
No, he paid good money for that rub and tug.
$50, man.
Telling
Yeah,
you.
that's. But I just feel like dirty talking about this shit. Like,
Is
you
that
know,
what a
like
rub and
it's.
tug goes for? $50? Where do y'all
I
put
don't
that?
know.
Is that high or low? I don't know. I'm not in the rub and tug market.
I mean,
It's
he also
either
got
a-
a massage too.
It's either a purchaser nor supplier. I wouldn't be on either part of that.
Yeah, I've never been part of that either. So, I don't know. It's weird because now we're gonna have to watch Baker play the Browns the first week of the season.
All
And
right.
I'm gonna be sad. I don't
Along
know.
those lines, what do we think? Okay, so concerning the possible suspension that could come down, that's why I really wanted to do this right now. Let's get this out. I would say, all right. So Dan, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to come out of this?
So I think Sue Robinson is going to come out to say between a 10 and 12 game suspension. I think a big reason for that is one, Sue Robinson she seems like she's one of those like tough on crime type of judges. I think it was a 2013 verdict where like a bunch of prisoners sued and they were saying like, hey, we're in like this prison is overcrowded. A lot of these guys haven't even been charged with the crime or haven't been convicted of a crime or anything. They're sleeping on the mattress on the floor. The toilet water splashing them in the face when it flushes. And she said, well, you guys have the room. There's, you have a roof over your head and they're feeding you. It's fine. Go fuck off. So I can see her throwing the hammer down, but because he did come with the settlements, with 20 of the women.
20. Yeah.
Yeah. I think because he did that, she's going to give him slight leeway. We're going to look at a 10 to 12 game suspension, and the NFL Players Association will appeal that, and we will be looking at a 6 to 8 game.
I don't care. I really don't. I think he deserves whatever he gets. I don't know, unless it's a 0 game suspension, and I don't think that's kind of ridiculous. But
I think the NFL Players Association is going to fight for a 0 game suspension, but I don't think that's happening.
They didn't. I guess the NFL didn't come in and show anything that he really.
Yeah.
And 2 grand juries didn't in Texas, of all places.
Yeah, it's not
to send people to jail.
Yeah, it's not. That's the thing that like I feel like it when you get going down that road, I feel like it's kind of defending Deshaun Watson a little bit, but it's not a criminal matter. It's a sexual harassment matter, and that's the big thing is how harshly do you think that should be punished? Because it's not a criminal matter. But I just don't. I don't know. I'm so fucked up about it. It's I'm not excited at all. I haven't paid attention at all to anything to do with the Browns this year. I know signing Clowney was the last thing that I saw that happened. Like I haven't paid attention to anything. I haven't even looked at the schedule yet to see what games I want to go to or anything. And I have season tickets. Like I don't know. I know I'm going to go to the opener because my brothers and my dad will want to go to the opener. But other than that, I'll probably end up selling most of my tickets this year.
Are we opening in Cleveland against Carolina?
We're opening in Carolina.
Yeah.
In Carolina? Oh,
yeah, we're against the Jets in our first home game.
Yeah.
The Jets. Who's that? Who's their quarterback? Is that the Zach Wilson guy that was banging his mom's friend?
Yeah.
It damn sure was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm stuck in the dishwasher.
Dude, I hear
that would be a great skit at the ESPYs.
I hear that all the time, and I've never seen one with that plot line. Like I've never come across that before. But
You're in the wrong category.
I don't know, man. I don't know what else to talk about. What did you have? What is that flag football thing you sent us?
Yeah, so there's that. So we got plenty still to talk about, man.
All right.
Because you don't care, like if he gets you're okay.
No, I'll let you guys take over. I'll just chime in. What do you want to talk about? Yeah.
You're okay if he gets suspended.
I'm okay if he gets suspended for a year. I don't give a shit.
Right. Well, anything is, I guess the only way that it won't go to an appeal is if he gets 0 games. If he
Right.
gets 0 game suspension, won't go to an appeal. If he gets, 12, then, the appeal goes to Goodell. And he could say, no, you're going to have to do that. So I don't think that I think
he can say no, you're doing a year.
yeah.
But they're saying that he most likely won't do that because they just signed this collective bargaining agreement. They just agreed upon having Sue Robinson decide these matters. So like he doesn't want to in the very first decision that she makes to
Step
go
on her
over.
toes.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So
I know Tony Rizzo came out and said we're looking at a 4 to 6 game suspension, and then immediately Chris Rose from the Best Damn Sports Show period, which was by far the most underrated sports show of all time, came out and said, Rizzo, you're full of shit. You don't have sources. Like immediately.
I don't think anybody has sources on this. I think it's
I don't know. I think he's going to get I think it'll be under 10. That's my line.
I think when it's all said and done, it's going to be under 10.
Yeah, it's going to be under 10.
Yeah. I don't know.
So then, if he does, so he gets suspended. Let's say that he does get a year, right? Or 10. Let's just say that he gets 10. Do we bring in another quarterback to take over for Jacoby Brissett? And then who's out there? Right now, I think
Fourth round pick.
Garoppolo, right?
Garoppolo,
and
yeah.
Brett Favre. But,
Yeah,
he's
Brett
prone to
Favre.
show his dick to people too. Brett Favre
Wow.
is, right?
Fourth round pick for Baker Mayfield.
I'm pretty sure Derek Anderson will give up his he'll give up his week in the Arena Football League to come back one more time.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Where's Brian Hoyer right now? I mean,
I don't want that fucker back.
What? I like Brian
What?
Hoyer.
No, I never liked him
Why?
because he was a little bitch. I don't know.
Because he was blocking Manziel from playing?
No, he was kind of. I mean, it wasn't that he was blocking Manziel from playing, but he was a little bitch about the Manziel thing. Like, he's
Yeah,
like,
he should have been.
I'm
Manziel was a little
from
bitch.
I'm from Cleveland. I don't know why anybody doesn't like me here. Like, I mean,
To be fair, I really liked Brian Hoyer.
I did too.
I really liked him.
You can't buy a Brian Hoyer jersey anymore.
Yeah.
You couldn't buy him when he was on the team.
They don't sell jerseys of quarterbacks that can't throw the ball past 20 yards. That's the rule.
Whoa.
I disagree. I had a Charlie Fry jersey somewhere.
Yeah, they had Tim Couch jerseys.
Well, at Akron U, it's 10 yards. So that's the difference. No, I don't know. I don't know who would they. There's no other quarterbacks to bring in. We got Jacoby Brissett, Beef Brisket, as they call him on my fantasy podcast, and I don't know. I think you run the ball a lot. You got some good wide receivers. I don't know, man. I'm. It sucks.
Really? I don't know. I think we've got a lead wide receiver. I think Hunt can operate as a short yardage receiver. I think he's.
No, you have good weapons. Yeah.
Yeah.
But after, we got what? Donovan Peoples-Jones. I don't know. Was good. Schwartz. We still have Schwartz, I think. But then really, who do you have after that?
I don't know. Our defense is going to suck. No, our defense is going to be good, except for the D line is going to suck. I think, like the middle of the defensive line is what I meant.
I guess there was some rumors I heard of Ndamukong Suh. Now that guy,
that was like a month ago,
that
though.
Yeah.
That was like a month ago, though, wasn't it?
No, I just saw it the other day that he was, Sue's still not signed. He's not, probably not going back to Tampa. But that guy,
Maybe he can step on Deshaun Watson's nuts in practice. I don't know. That
oh
might
my
help.
God. Yeah, I don't think they would let that happen. But, to your point, Watson would probably have his nuts out. So that would be, an opportunity.
Not unless
Hey guys,
everything's
refresh
massage
my
therapist.
memory here. We had Sean Big Baby Rogers for a hot minute.
Yeah.
Back in the 2008 and 2009.
I have no idea when
Yeah,
that was.
yeah,
but
I'm gonna go with
I know
you
we
on
had
this
Brady
one.
Quinn on the team. We had him on the
Yeah.
team because he punched Brady Quinn in the face in the locker room and nobody did anything. So like, fuck it, Brady's not a starter anyway. What do you guys remember? What the downfall was for him to leave the team? I was just trying to remember that. No, I'm sorry, Sean Rogers, because I know he hated Eric Mangini, but I don't know if that was the downfall.
I do not know.
I don't know. All I know is our defensive tackle room is pretty sparse right now.
Yeah,
that's I know we have Tommy Togiai. I said Tommy Togiai. That's not how you pronounce that name.
Didn't he sing 8675309? No, that was Tommy Two Tone. My bad. My bad.
But yeah, I mean, I've heard they're still talking about signing Joe Hayden, maybe.
Really?
I think that would be cool. Yeah, he did just post something kind of interesting on his Instagram page. It was. I
don't know if I want him back.
I know he was in the Jarvis Landry
dude.
softball game last year at Lake County Captain Stadium, and my brother went to that game. And I if he was playing right field, I would have said hit the ball to right field because Joe Hayden wouldn't be within 10 yards of that ball at all fucking times.
He's the only Steelers player that I have ever loved because he was my favorite player when he played for the Browns. He did a lot for the city of Cleveland. And I had never rooted for him whenever he was with the Steelers, obviously, but I still love the guy. Wish he would come back. He loved the city of Cleveland. I mean, he went to every Cavs.
Then why did he go to the Steelers?
Game.
Of all the teams, why did he go 3 hours away?
Because we cut him and he didn't want to move. That's why. That's the reason. We cut him and he didn't want to move. So,
bring back Josh. Brian Sternick says bring back Josh Cribbs.
But he posted this on his, if you can see it, on his Instagram page, a new tattoo that he got
with the Browns gear. That's
him
cool.
With like half
nice.
Browns, half Steelers, but it's like but it's like pretty dominantly Browns. So I don't know. It looks like a Browns tattoo. You can barely tell except for the sleeve. And the other half of the helmet that is black. Like you can barely tell that it's also a Steelers tattoo. Like I don't know. I think he has a 216 in there somewhere. Like he loves the city of Cleveland, and I hope he comes back. If nothing else, just to retire as a Brown instead of a Steeler. Like he played here longer. I think maybe the same amount of time by now. I don't know.
Well, I mean, he does have some experience of working with a quarterback with sexual assault allegations. I mean,
true, but that's one of the reasons why
on his resume.
That was one of the reasons why I was pissed at the organization years ago because they cut Joe Hayden. Like that was the John Dorsey move, I think.
You know what? I wasn't so upset with that when it happened because nobody was going to be offering us anything for Joe Hayden at the time. So they knew that, they didn't have to offer anything. Eventually we were going to cut him. And Joe Hayden didn't make a difference on the team at that point anyway.
But then he did make a difference on the Steelers for like 5 years. I'll
agree with that.
I mean, he's been a great cornerback most of his career, except for the 3 years that he was injured whenever he was with the Browns. That was about it. He had injuries. Like you can't, I hate that. I hate when teams abandon players because of injury. Like I feel like that's what happened with Baker. I don't know. I feel like the organization did him wrong, and I feel like he also was a little bitch about it. But I feel like the organization did him wrong by first of all letting him play through an injury that they knew he shouldn't have been playing with, and second, just kind of throwing him under the bus at the end of the season. Like. That's what Brian Sternick said. Bring back Josh Cribbs instead of Hayden.
I love Brian. That's a good call. I'd bring back
Josh Cribbs is still here. Like, what do you?
He
I
still lives
know.
in Cleveland, and he's petitioning to make himself a Hall of Famer. The man truly believes he had a Hall of Fame career. And I don't mean like the Cleveland Hall of Fame. I mean he believes he should be in Canton, enshrined in the Football Hall of Fame.
He did set an NFL record for run backs. What was it? Kick returns for a touchdown in a season.
Yeah, and then Devin Hester beat it. I think.
Yeah.
So,
God damn it.
yeah, I mean,
We can't have
Jerome
anything
Harrison
nice.
also had like the third highest rushing yards in a game, like one time too. But nobody's rushing to put Jerome Harrison in the fucking Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he's got nothing to stand on for the Hall of Fame, man. It's a shame. It is a shame that Clay Matthews is not in the Hall of Fame, but Josh Cribbs, no.
Ryan Fitzpatrick also had the largest beard in any NFL game. I think that he should go in. I think the bust would just be awesome, you know?
Yeah.
So long and flowing.
The Washington Redskins have the record for most quarterbacks ending their career with an injury.
Huh.
No, I guess Alex Smith did come back afterwards, but yeah, they had the Joe Theismann thing, and then almost the exact same injury with Alex Smith, and then Ryan Fitzpatrick last year. Not the greatest. I wouldn't want to play quarterback for the Commanders, I guess.
So can we go back and talk about Baker for 1 second here?
Yeah.
About,
Sure,
about
yeah.
injuries and everything, because I fully agree that the Browns organization did them dirty. And the whole point of having coaches and doctors is to step in because the athlete themselves is not. Think about it like this: people are still complaining in Cleveland about David Justice not wanting to play that last playoff game. I think it was like in '99 because he had like a sore foot. You know this.
Yeah.
So this is why you have doctors and coaches and managers of teams to make sure that the players don't actually go out there and hurt themselves. When you do have somebody like even more when you do have someone like a Baker Mayfield who's going out there with one arm and he's going out there with, didn't he have like knee issues and hip issues this season too? So
Yeah.
I think back to this where I was on the high school wrestling team, and in my freshman year, I was at this meet and I had 5 matches, and in the second match, my shoulder dislocated. Like completely came out of the socket and, slight tear. And I went back and I finished the match and then I had 3 more matches. And it's one of those things where it's like, now as a 34-year-old man, when I'm working out and then suddenly my shoulder gives out, I'm kind of like, hey, I wonder if maybe that thing that happened to me when I was 15 years old might have been might be contributing to what's happening to me right now. So
Yeah.
I think the coaches really did him dirty by putting him in the game, but then also having him throw the ball like 40, 50 times.
So much. Way too much. Yeah.
Way too much. And everyone's talking about, oh, well, he threw so many interceptions. I just wrote this down. He threw 17 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Tom Brady threw 12 interceptions. Yes, he did have 43 touchdowns, but it's not that Baker was so much different than Joe Burrow threw 14 interceptions. No, it's a lot different when you're also throwing a lot when you're also throwing a lot of touchdowns too. But considering his injury, I don't think he was playing nearly as bad as everyone said when you consider the injury that he was playing with.
I will say this, that I think Baker proved that he is tough as nails physically. And I think he also proved that he's the weakest person in the world mentally. And that's, I mean, dude, it's not just what he did at the end of the season or the storming out and saying it's me or Odell or whatever happened with that thing. It's now like him saying that he doesn't have any animosity towards Cleveland in one interview. And then in another interview saying that he's got week 1 marked on his schedule. And then saying that he's going to wear the number 13 because he has unfinished business with number 13. Like, dude, grow the fuck up. Like, I don't know. Like, that's the one thing is like, it's like, dude, if you need that much motivation other than just making millions of dollars and winning a Super Bowl, then you shouldn't be playing football. Like, I'm sorry. Like, if you need that much extra motivation, you need to grow the fuck up.
I disagree. I got to disagree with that part, man. Baker is a guy that played with a chip on his shoulder, and that's when the chip was there. That's when he played at his best.
Right.
And that's also what ruined his career with the Browns.
I'm with this Brown. I'm with
and
that
that's
Brown.
Also what.
I'm with that Brown. I don't know which way I'm fucking pointing here. Drinking whiskey.
But that also ruined his career with the Browns. I mean, it did. It's. You can't have it like you can have a chip on your shoulder, but you can't have a chip on your shoulder to the point where when a team tells you you were in the bottom half of the league for 2 seasons, if we can find a top 5 quarterback, we're going to find one. And then they try to find one, and you're like, I don't want to ever play for this team anymore. That's a weak person. I'm sorry. It's
I don't
at
think
the
you
same
can have
time,
a- I don't
two
think
seasons. One of them was riddled with injuries. The other was the Freddie Kitchens season.
right.
And
Which shouldn't
no
even
one
count.
other than Nick Chubb was good during the Freddie Kitchens season.
yeah. So he
Miles
had
Garrett.
two.
Miles Garrett too. I'm sorry. I take that
So
back.
he
I
had
total lie.
two. So he had two
Well,
decent.
Miles
I
Garrett smacked the one guy. Oh, fucking
Mason Rudolph, which by the
Yeah.
way, fuck
Mason
anyone who
Rudolph.
defends the punishment Miles Garrett got for that. Miles
Yeah.
Garrett fucking lifted a man off the ground by his face with one hand. Okay,
Right.
with one hand. I'm telling you, John, if I pissed you off and you lift me off the ground with one hand by my face, by the time I stand up, I'm going to say, I think we got off on the wrong foot here.
Right. I
Instead,
apologize
I go
for
behind
anything that I
WCI
said.
and I start talking shit to you, and
Dude.
you're still holding the helmet in my head. Remember, you just lift me off the ground by my face, and you hit me so lightly that I can turn around and look for a referee. If Miles Garrett hit him as hard as he could, they would still be cleaning Mason Rudolph's DNA off of the field.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Mason Rudolph should have got suspended. That's how it is in hockey. Whoever loses the fight, right?
Yeah. Well,
I don't
then,
know.
then
I
who's
don't
was
know.
it
I
Pouncey?
don't know if that's the
I
rule
don't
in
know.
hockey or not,
All I
but that's
know
how
is
it was on Blades of Glory.
Let's say you just
back in the
exposed
day.
everyone here for not knowing anything about hockey.
No, that's how it was on Blades of Glory on regular Nintendo.
Everybody gets in hockey. It's okay. It's just part of it. They have like a 5-minute suspension. Hey, just go sit in that box and think about what you did. Right.
Yeah,
You have to. It is really be egregious for you to get like suspended. Right.
yeah.
But back to Baker. I think that, Dan, what you were saying, he was playing. The only person that really thought he wasn't doing what he needed to do was Odell's dad. Right. So that was
not,
some bullshit there. That's some, and you talk about being a small person, that is some schoolyard bullshit. Right.
but that's also not exactly true. There were a lot of reports that he had several people in the locker room that were no longer on his side of being the starting quarterback.
No doubt.
And nobody other than Joel Bitonio had anything positive to say about him when this whole thing was going on.
Miles Garrett did.
Yeah,
he kind of Garrett kind of played both sides
Chubb,
a little bit.
Chubb has always been a big Baker fan.
I'm that's the thing though. I'm a Baker fan. I'm pissed off at Baker because he ruined this. Like that's what I am a Baker Mayfield fan, but I am pissed off at him because he ruined this. Like it was him. Whether it was the Odell thing or not. The Odell thing was boiled down to Baker couldn't adjust to having a wide receiver that likes to freestyle. And that's not, to me, if you're going to be a great quarterback, you should be able to adjust to that. Like you think
because it's chaos. You have to be able to adjust to chaos on the field.
Well, you have to be able to play backyard quarterback sometimes. I mean, that's what it is, and that's the kind of receiver Odell Beckham Jr. is. And I'm sorry, but Matthew Stafford didn't have any problems with it last year when he went to the Rams. I mean, I thought Baker was on that level of.
Isn't
Matthew
that a little
Stafford.
bit on John Dorsey though? Because it's like if Baker's not all about the freestyle, which he's shown that he's not.
Oh, this
he's
whole
clearly
thing
your
is
starting
on John
quarterback.
Dorsey. Yeah.
Yeah, but that you see what I'm saying here. You're putting together pieces of a puzzle that don't go together. You're building a puzzle that's the galaxy, but then you're throwing in pieces from Elmo and Friends, and it doesn't fit.
No, I agree. John Dorsey is the main person that's at fault for all this.
How is he at fault for all of this?
He set up all those clientele meetings for Deshaun Watson.
No, he put Odell Beckham Jr. on the Browns, and I do believe whether it was Baker's fault or Odell's fault, I think it was a little bit of both. I do believe Odell was the reason why we had this falling out of the Browns and Baker Mayfield. And
well, did you read that report about Kevin Stefanski not showing up to a meeting with Baker because he was talking to Myles Garrett about something else? and Baker got all pissy about that. Hey, look, at the end of the day, how old is Baker? What, 26?
Like I said, grow the fuck up.
He does have to grow the fuck up a little bit.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard. And John, you were saying that he needs these chips and he shouldn't, have to play for these chips on his shoulder. He should just, be happy with making all that money. But the athletes in that type of arena, that doesn't really motivate them that much, right?
Right.
They're used to getting those kind of things. That's small, compare everybody else's shit but they need that extra fire, because when that money hits your bank, it's nice and all, but you still have to have something to find something to motivate you to get up there and kick somebody's ass.
Yeah, but it wasn't just that.
Look what Jordan had to do to motivate himself.
Yeah,
right.
but it wasn't just that with Baker. It was the other shit. It was the being short with the media all the time. It was his fucking wife on Twitter all the time. Like, tell your wife to be quiet. Like, your wife has no business. Your wife has no business airing out your dirty laundry on Twitter. Like, I'm sorry. Like, that's.
Hold on a second. Hey, Tammy. Hey, shut the fuck up, would you?
No, that's different.
If my camera feed goes out.
I really want to see like a fucking hand just come across and slap.
No, when you're representing an organization, your spouse has to understand that they can't air out your dirty laundry on the internet. And if they are, find another spouse. I don't know. Like, that's something that you can't have. That's like it's almost like being a politician. Like, you can't be a politician and have your wife tweeting shit out that it goes completely against everything you believe in. And I mean,
well, look at Kellyanne Conway.
Right.
Yeah, and look how well that went. I think they're getting a divorce now. Like, that's, I don't know. It was Baker and Odell. They're both at fault. But I honestly think that if Baker would have been a little bit more mature, all of this wouldn't have happened. I think it wasn't just the chip on his shoulder type shit. It was also being short with the media, being short with players, getting pissed off at Stefanski. Like, it's just.
Also, playing 10 hours of Halo 4 days in a row before you go play Green Bay on Christmas Day did not help him.
Right.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit like that, dude. And it just.
In Baker's defense, he is a hell of a Halo player.
Dude, I have two Baker Mayfield jerseys and a jersey shirt. Like, I was all in on Baker Mayfield.
Same.
I will never buy a Deshaun Watson jersey. You can hold me to that. That will not happen ever.
Yeah.
But which is probably better for the Browns, because every quarterback's jersey I buy ends up not with the team in 2 years. So,
but
please tell me you have an RG3 jersey.
Huh?
Please tell me you have an RG3.
No, somewhere in the depths of my closet, I have a Manziel blacked out jersey. I have a Brady Quinn jersey. I have a.
You have a Brian Hoyer one? I'm willing to take that off your hands.
I have a Tim Couch jersey. I think I might have a Jake Delhomme jersey that I bought as a joke.
Please tell me you have a Jeff Garcia jersey.
No, I never got a Jeff Garcia jersey. I think I have a Deshaun Kaiser jersey.
Oh, come on.
Hey, I was a big Notre Dame fan, man. I bought Brady Quinn and Deshaun Kaiser as soon as we drafted them, both of them.
Poor guy. No, I feel bad. If there's anybody in the NFL that I feel bad for, it is Deshaun Kaiser. I really, honestly, from the depths of my heart, feel bad for that guy.
Well, he should have listened. As much as I don't like Brian Kelly, he should have listened to Brian Kelly and stayed in college another year. But it might have made all the difference in the world, because he had all the talent in the world. He just wasn't ready when he came out. I mean, although
he also had Hugh Jackson.
Like, also, who the fuck would have been ready to play on that Browns team at that time? Yeah. I mean, I don't know if Tom Brady could have gotten 8 wins out of that team. I mean, they were awful.
Tom Brady probably could have gotten 8 wins out of that team, but that's only because he's Tom Brady.
Right.
With Hugh Jackson as the head coach, I don't know, man.
No, he wouldn't have listened to Hugh. He'd have been smart enough not to listen. He would have got the play, and then he would have gone into the huddle, and he would have said, "We're not doing that." I need you to do this, this, and this, and then we would have
Yeah.
won. That's
Hugh
what would have happened.
Hugh Jackson would have been like, "Well, I don't really care what he's done with the rest of his career. Every player's the same. He's gonna have to earn his spot."
Can I say something really quick too to defend Baker? And this isn't going to say much, but everyone says in his rookie year he went 7-8-1. That's not fair. Baker actually went 7-7, which I know is not that much different. But one of those losses he didn't play in, and that tie game he did not play in.
Well, his rookie year he didn't go 7-8-1. That was his rookie year. He was like 7-3. He
was 7-7. He was 2-4 under Hugh, and then 5-3 under.
That was his second year.
That was the first year.
Under Greg Williams.
Yeah, Freddie Kitchens was the second year. Then he had 2 years of Stefanski.
Okay.
Which, by the way, hey, good news for us, man. Going into our third year with the same coach.
I didn't think he played
4 games will be good.
I just didn't think he played 14 games his rookie year. I don't know.
Well, you got to remember that second game he came in, or that first game he came in like half the way. So
yeah.
I think technically Tyrod Taylor gets the win for that one. So then he's okay. He's 6-7.
No, Tyrod Taylor should not get the win for that one because we were down in that game.
Right. So he would get the save. I think Baker would get the save.
All I know is
early pitching, he gets the win.
That's probably the most exciting Browns game that sticks out in my head that I was at, and it meant a lot because I was there with my dad, and I was like, this is we're watching the future of our franchise playing his first game, and now it doesn't mean a fucking thing, and it sucks.
Well, I remember watching that game or watching like the first 8 games of that season and thinking, man, we struck gold with Carlos Hyde. Like, I really hope they find a way to like re-sign him and keep him around. And then they traded him. And I'm like, Nick Chubb isn't ready, which just goes to show you I am a terrible scout at football.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm like, man, that guy is great. Like Brian Hoyer, for example. You know, let me do a callback here. Brian Hoyer. I thought he was great. Obviously, John thinks he was, a sack of potatoes there.
Dude, I wanted what was the quarterback that played for Denver that we had in Cleveland for like, I don't know, like
Osweiler? Brock Osweiler?
Yes. I wanted him when he came out of college. I was like, this dude's going to be awesome. and that did not turn out. I've had some bad picks at quarterback. I thought Deshaun Watson was going to suck whenever he came out of college. I was like, he's too small.
I really thought Troy Smith was going to come to Cleveland. Like, even after we drafted Brady Quinn, I was like, hey, we could still draft Troy Smith, and then he could be the backup. And my friend who was watching the draft looked at me like I was an idiot.
I would say any small quarterback that's known as a running quarterback, I have no faith in when they're coming in. But I thought Johnny Manziel was going to be the shit. I mean, I really did, just because he wasn't like a running quarterback, I guess. He was
hey, somebody give me the ball and then go that way.
No,
That's
dude, I will say one thing about Johnny Manziel, and that is that I think he's a huge piece of shit. He wanted to be famous more than he wanted to be a football player. And he sucked in the NFL because he didn't put in the work to be good in the NFL. But if you watched him in college, he was the most exciting college football player I've ever seen, maybe other than Reggie Bush. Like, he was that good to where I remember, I think it was the game they were playing Duke, whenever he was at A&M, and it was just a back and forth the whole game. And they were down the whole time because they got down by 2 touchdowns. So they were going back and forth, and they'd be down 1 touchdown. And I remember he was on the sidelines yelling at his defense, telling him, get me 1 stop and I'll win this game. And they got him a stop, and he went down and won the game. And that's the type of player he was in college. And then whenever he got drafted, he took that money and bought so much cocaine and alcohol and swan floats that
I thought he was a comedian.
Dude, it was so ridiculous, dude. Like, he could have been
Snickers commercial money. That's what he had right there.
He could have been so good and he could have been such a polarizing figure that Cleveland would have embraced and loved, and everyone else would have hated, and I would have loved it. And but because he didn't give a fuck, he sucked, and he's a piece of shit.
Are you
All right.
saying Skip Bayless was wrong and that he was not bigger than LeBron in Cleveland?
What?
Skip Bayless said that one day Johnny Manziel will be bigger than his buddy LeBron in the city of Cleveland.
Man, those words came back to bite him in the ass, huh?
Did you guys ever see that AAF league? It was in 2019 going into 2020, and it was like right before the XFL like started their season 2.
No.
No,
it was on.
the American, what was it?
It was
They had
something.
an app or some
Trent
shit.
Richardson played for the Birmingham team. They brought Johnny in for in the, I think it was the Memphis team or the Nashville team for like the final like 4 or 5 games of the season. The league ended up going bankrupt and they couldn't finish the season out.
Right.
But his last play, he threw an interception, and when he went to go tackle the guy, he dove, and his offensive lineman kneed him in the helmet, gave him a concussion, and took him out of the game. And I'm like, if that is the last thing Johnny Manziel ever does in professional football, I think it's the most fitting way to go out.
Dude.
Instead, he's doing this Twitch league right now.
I would say though he is not the biggest bust in Browns history. That will always be Trent Richardson. Because dude, I remember he was like the sure thing. Like everybody was like, he's the next Adrian Peterson and blah blah blah. And I remember that draft night, dude. I think
they traded up.
I know.
To get him.
I think we were drafting like 10th or something, and we start getting on Twitter. We start seeing like the Browns are trading up, and we start going nuts. Dude, we're at my brother's house for a draft party with like 12 guys, and we're all just high fiving and yelling like, "We got T. Rich, fuck yeah!" Like just going nuts, dude.
He even gave him a nickname, T. Rich.
Dude, that was the most excited I've ever been for a player that the Browns drafted. And he sucked. He could not see an NFL hole to save his life. Like he was still athletic and good. He just could not see the holes in the NFL. That happens, I guess.
I guess.
But
so before we wrap this up, let's do this real quick. Dan, who's the one Cleveland Browns player you have disliked the most?
Ever?
Dennis Northcutt.
God damn, that's what I was gonna say. That's
While
awesome.
he was playing, it was Dennis Northcutt. After he played for the Browns, and so right now Deshaun Watson has not technically played for the Browns yet. But after he has played for the Browns, I gotta go Kellen Winslow Jr.
Oh, yeah, that's a close second. That's a good one. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Dennis Northcutt. He would find the first down marker and then step back 2 yards and catch
and drop the ball anyway.
Yeah, I fucking hated that guy. Or letting punts go over his head so that the other team could down him at the 1 yard line. Oh my God! But every game I wanted that guy out.
I love.
All right, so totally took my thunder. John Brown.
I had a Northcutt jersey.
Of course you did.
It's got to be Johnny for me. Johnny
really?
Manziel.
Johnny?
Yeah. Because I was a big fan of him, and I thought he just shit on Cleveland. He just took a big giant shit on the city of Cleveland, and I hate him, and I talk shit to him on Twitter all the time. It's kind of fun.
I just found out on Twitter I was blocked by Daniel Booby Gibson of the Cleveland Cavs. Apparently he blocked me like 8 years ago, and I totally didn't realize it. But thanks to the Time Hop app, I was able like, yeah, who was this person? And I had to look it up. Yeah, I was talking to Booby.
Yeah.
I think I've made like one Twitter post. So I don't think I'm blocked by anybody.
I love talking shit to Johnny Manziel because he'll respond sometimes, and it's fun.
To you?
To everybody. It's all he has to do with his life. He just like responds to everybody on Twitter, And
Ray
it's
Highclack and I
hilarious.
used to we used to try having a contest who could get blocked by the most wrestlers on Twitter. And then after a while, I realized I'm like, wait a minute, I'm getting blocked by everyone I'm a fan of. Like I'm
Everyone I like
I'm
is
being a
blocking
dickhead
me.
troll for no reason. Like I'm being mean to Bubba Ray Dudley and the Big Show.
I'm pretty sure Highclack came up with that idea.
Well, I sent him. I don't remember exactly who came up with the idea, but I did send him something. I'm like, hey, look, I got blocked by CM Punk for making fun of him for walking out of the WWE, and then I got blocked by Vince Russo, and then it kind of like spiraled into, yeah, well, I got blocked by him. Yeah, well, I'm getting blocked by him. And after a while, I'm kind of like, this is such a stupid game.
Yeah.
If you win, you lose. Really,
Exactly.
think about it. Yeah. All right. So so we're gonna do this every Friday now, right?
I said
4:30?
on the Twitter page every Friday that we feel like it. So
No, that's a good one. I mean, you guys are very popular comedians. I know you have shows. You travel a lot. Dan, are you doing anything this week?
Fuck you,
I
Ron
am
Wesley.
doing the Secret Society show in Cleveland tomorrow, which I'm very excited for. I don't know. I've never done this show, but it always looks like they have a great audience.
Yeah,
They do, and Collision Bend is one of my favorite places they do it at, and
Oh, cool.
I'll be on that show too. It'll be fun.
nice.
Yeah, I gotta get going because I gotta get ready for show tonight. Yeah, I'll be at Funny Stop all weekend with Mary Santora, so come out for those.
Excellent.
Cool.
Excellent.
Where can people follow you guys at?
You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and on TikTok, which I don't have any videos up yet, at xdanbrown.
Yeah,
Cool.
I'll have to be more prepared with my shit next week for people to.
You can follow me at John Brown Comedy on everything. And W Scott, I got you. Hold on. W Scott, follow W Scott's dog at sir.racha.the.irish.terrier.
I made it easy.
Yeah.
It's easy to remember.
It's a good account. Sometimes W Scott takes it over and posts some bourbon on there, but usually it's pictures of dogs. So.
There's I'm also on TikTok at something or another.
Cooking with Scott.
I don't know. Cooking with Scott.
Cooking with Scott.
I don't know what it is. Oh, at W Scott Ween. The Cooking with Scott's on there.
Cool.
And you can follow us on the Shed Show on Facebook.
Yeah, and we already have followers because on Facebook because I just switched the name and the logo out from the turnaround. So
we've turned around.
Yeah, so people are following us. People are following us whether they want to or not. So.
That's right. Between Two Browns. Oh, this is a great show. I love it.
All right, guys. I'll see you later.
All right.
See you guys.
Later.
Later.